Morning, students. Today it is the fourth class of e-commerce. In the previous classes, we already discussed about the e-commerce and the difference between traditional commerce and e-commerce, and the features of e-commerce, benefits of e-commerce, and the difference between e-commerce and the e-business, and the history of e-commerce. In the last class, Sharina Miss already discussed or just give an introduction about the EDI, that is Electronic Data Interchange. So, today's class we we will discuss about the electronic data interchange in a detailed way. So, what is the process of electronic data interchange or EDI? We know in 1970, first history of the e-commerce, that is the starting stage, preliminary stage of e-commerce. We are already discussed in the second class about two technologies which is developed for the e-commerce. What are the two technologies developed? That is first one EDI and the second one EFT. That is electronic data interchange and electronic fund transfer. These are the two techniques developed for the e-commerce. So these are the these are the 8 departments connected with the e-commerce by using the EDI. First of all, the first department is the web designing. The web design link is directly connect with the web hosting, then consulting, then marketing, accounting service, credit card processing, payment gateway, and the last stage is merchant account. So these are the 8 departments connected with the e-commerce. For this purpose, we must use the electronic data interchange. The main heart of the e-commerce, that is the electronic data interchange. All the communication done from the web design to the merchant account, that is the chain of the e-commerce process. This process chain is directly connected with the web designing, web hosting, consulting, marketing, accounting service, credit card processing, payment gateway, merchant account by using the electronic data interchange. Okay, so what is meant by EDI or electronic data interchange? Clearly understand what is the meaning or the definition of EDI. It is the computer to computer exchange of business documents in a standard electronic format between business partners. So the definition is you must divide it in 4 parts. First part, it is the computer to computer. The main machines or the main materials involved in the process is two computers, computer to computer. That is the devices used by the partners or the users. So that is the first part. Second part of the definition, that is business documents. What is the process done in business documents? Exchange of business documents. What are the documents? In 1970, there are two documents is used, that is the purchase orders and the purchase invoices, etc. and payments. These type of business documents is to be exchanged. That is the second part. Okay, so first part is computer to computer. Second part is exchange of business documents. And what is the third part? That is standard electronic format. The business documents is to be exchanged by using a standard electronic format. So there must be a standard electronic format, that unique format to read and understand by each computer, which is used by the specific users. So the computer language is to be common or identical to read and understand by all the users. So there must be a standard electronic format. This is the third part of the definition. And what is the fourth part or the last part of the definition? That is between business partners. So who are the partners or who are the users of EDI? That is the business partners. So the definition is divided into four parts. That is, EDI is the computer to computer. That is the first part. What is the second part? Exchange of business documents. What is the third part? In a standard electronic format. And the last part, between business partners. So these four parts are the important features of EDI. So in the definition itself, there are the features. Okay, so you can easy to study the definition and the features of EDI. So what is the meaning of EDI? It is the computer to computer exchange of business documents in a standard electronic format between business partners. Okay, then why we use the EDI? What is the benefit or what is the importance of using the EDI? So that is the benefits. We can in the traditional commerce we use a communication or make a communication by using the paperwork, or it takes many times, and the human beings are mainly involved in the business transaction. So there are many mistakes or malpractices or errors to be made. So these mistakes, these factors is to be reduced, can be reduced by using the EDI. So by moving from a paper-based exchange of business documents to one that is electronic, so we neglect or avoid or change the paper-based exchange into electronic based exchange. So that is the first one. So we can avoid the paperwork and we can avoid the mistakes done in the paperwork. Okay, business enjoy major benefits such as reduced cost. We can reduce the cost of the this paperwork and reduce the processing time and reduce the errors and improved or make an effective and strong relationship between the business and the customers, that is the users of this EDI. So these are the benefits and these are the reasons why we implementing the EDI, why we use or depend the EDI. These are the reasons: to reduce the cost, increase the processing speed and reducing the errors, improving the relationship with the users. Okay, so these are the reasons or the introduction of the EDI. Next, we must study about the features. We already discussed in the definition itself, there are four parts. These are the four features of the EDI. So what are they? First one, again, computer to computer. There is two devices is to be communicated for making a business transaction. For that, there must be two or more devices, the computer to computer. By using the computer to computer, we can avoid the personal involvement or human involvement, like the replacing the postal department and the fax system and also the email. You know the meaning of email means electronic mail. The postal mail is interchanged, or new implementation is the electronic mail. But in the case of the electronic mail, also the human being's involvement is very high. So there can be some errors or malpractices or any mistakes to be made by the human beings. So in the case of computer to computer, we use the machines completely for making the process of the business transaction. So we must replace the postal mail, also the fax and the email. The main reason to avoid or replace the email, that is the documents exchanged via email, must still be handled by people rather than computers. So the best way to avoid the human beings and to depend the machines like the computers. Okay, having people involved slows down the processing of the documents and also introduce errors. That is the main reason to avoid the email system. If any human being is involved, the processing time must be increasing. So we must reduce the processing speed. So for the to increase the processing speed, we must use mechanical involvement and avoid or replace the human involvement, and it will lead to reduce the errors. Okay, so this is the reason to replace the email in the EDI. Okay, instead, EDI documents can flow straight through to the appropriate application on the receiver's computer, example, the order management system, and processing can begin immediately. If in we already discussed, there are more than two users, that is the business partners. So first company, first person send a purchase order to another business organization. Then the starting process is come into start. So first of all, any person or any customer or any business organization gives a purchase order. That is the communication starting point. When any business organization receives a purchase order, then they will ready the products and they will make an invoice and they will make the delivery challan. Likewise, documents is to be prepared by the company or the business organization. So these documents is to be processed and can be begin immediately after getting a first communication, that is giving the purchase order, that is the order management system. So first feature of the EDI is computer to computer. Okay, the computer to computer is increasing the processing speed and reducing the errors and reducing the cost. Okay, so this is the first feature. What is the second feature of EDI? That is the business document. We already discussed at the time of discussing about the meaning of EDI. What is the business documents, or what are the business documents? The purchase orders or purchase invoices or payment slips or advance ship notice or bill of lading for the delivery of the products, customs documents or inventory documents, shipping documents, or to know the shipping status. Likewise, so these are the important documents involved in the e-commerce. These common documents exchanged via EDI, it will, what is the purpose or what is the objective behind this exchange of business documents? Because the machines are operating this communication, so they must know what is the language used by the users. This language can be read and understand by the machines. So all the documents is to be translated or transferred to the machine within the language which is installed in the software of that particular machine. So for this purpose, all the documents like the purchase orders, invoices, etc. must be translated to the electronic format, the language which is known by the computers or the any devices which is used by the business partners. So that is the second feature, that is the exchange of business documents. What is the third one? That is the standard format. What is the meaning of standard? What is the meaning of standard? In the earlier period, for the commercial purpose, we using a barter system. What is the meaning of barter system? Exchange of goods for any other goods. Rice is exchanged for coconut, or any other material, means mango is exchanged for jackfruit. Likewise, any product is exchanged by any other product. That system is known as barter system. After that, the money is or rupees is implemented. After that, we will give a standard format of rupee. All products, all materials is converted into money. So we can give a specific format for each product. 1 kilo sugar, 100 rupees. 1 kilo rice, 30 rupees. Likewise, we will fix a standard format. So what is the standard format? That is unique format, identical format. It can be calculated or measured by using a standard format. Here also there is a standard format. For what purpose? Because the machines are involved in this process. So these machines can read, can understand, and give the output. So what is the process of a computer? What is the process? What is to be done by a computer? There is any data is inputted, it must be processed. After the processing, given output. That is the procedure or the process done by any devices or any computers. Okay, what is the input? Sometimes it will be a voice, sometimes will be a text or any other. It is to be transferred by using the language applied by the device and giving an output by giving an audio or video, or by take a print or any other method which can get a result or any report. So this is the procedure done by any all computers or any mechanical devices. So here the important materials used for the processing, that is the computers. So the language used by the computers must be a standard format, so it can be easy to read and understand by all the devices which is used by the business partners. So because of that main reason, we must follow a standard format. Okay, because EDI documents must be processed by computers rather than humans, a standard format must be used so that the computer will be able to read and understand the documents. The machines have no common sense. They can't think. They can't implement or change any data which is inputted into the software. They can apply, they can process which is the software said. So to know the software, the data collected by the users, it will be given by the software language or the computer language. So for this, you must adopt a standard format. Okay, a standard format describes what each piece of information is and in what format. Any format you use, sometimes it will be an alphabet or integer or decimal or month, date, year. Likewise, you give any format information. The data which you given in any format, it must be translated to a standard format which is read and understand by the devices involved in the EDI. Okay. Without a standard format, each company would send documents using its company's specific format, And much as an English speaking person probably doesn't understand Japanese, the receiver's computer system does not understand the company's specific format of the sender's format. Likewise, Indians. Usually, Indian people know about the languages like Malayalam, Hindi, Tamil, English, likewise. But most of the people does not know about the Japanese, Latin, like the languages, French, like the languages. So here it is only an example. Okay, to understand and read, they must use a specific format because a sender gives communication to the receiver by using a mechanical language. For that purpose, a standard format must be used because the receiver's computer system doesn't understand the company's specific format of the sender's format. If they does not know the standard format, the computer can't read and understand what is said by the sender's computer. So we must use a standard format. There are several EDI standards in use today, including ANSI, EDIFACT, Tradacoms, and EDXML. Okay, so these are the standard formats which is used by the EDI for processing their business documents interchange. And for each standard, there are many different versions. That is an important one. Why these versions are implemented? For upgrading the technology. When an upgradation is done, then the versions also is to be exchanged. What is the benefit of these versions changing? That is updating new technologies, updating new informations. Without this, we are using the old technologies, old measures. So always e-commerce techniques is to be updated by the users. For that purpose, the standard format is also is to be updated. For this purpose, the new versions is to be made and it is to be implemented by the standard format. When two businesses decide to exchange EDI documents, they must agree on the specific EDI standard and version. So first of all, the business partners to know about the what are the standard formats which is used, standard formats which is used by the business users or business person, and what is the version which is implemented by the computers for this business transaction. So this is an important one. They must agree the specific EDI standard and the version. That is the first thing. And what is the second one? There must be a translator. That is, we give a data. It is to be translated by the software or any service provider and transfer that translated document, translated information to the receiver's computer. So in the first computer, we give any data like alphabets or the digits, real numbers, or the designs, or the signals, or the symbols. Likewise, by using this language or the standard format involved in the software, it will give a process, and that is the meaning of translation of the information or the data collected in the computer first. The translated information is transferred to another computer. That is the process done by the EDI. So the EDI translator must be used for this purpose. What is the meaning of EDI translator? Sometimes it will be installed in the software, or we can use a service provider. These are the two methods which is used for the EDI translator. What are they? Sometimes it will be installed in the software, or we can use a service provider to translate the EDI format, so the data can be used by their internal application and thus enable straight through processing of documents. Okay, so these are the third point. Sorry, third point. Okay. Then what is the last feature? That is the business partners or the users of EDI. Who are the partners? Sometimes individuals or the business organization, different business, that is B2B, B2C, G2C, G2B, etc. are the business partners. So the exchange of EDI documents is typically between two different companies referred to as business partners or trading partners sometimes. For example, company A may buy goods from company B. So here the buyer is the company B and the seller is company B. So first of all, company A gives a purchase order to company B and company B give a purchase invoice to the company A. Then the company A gives the payment to the company B and company B must deliver the product to the company A. So this is the procedure or the process involved in the e-commerce. So company A sends orders to the company B and company A and company B are the business partners, who are the person or the users involved in the EDI process is known as the business partners. So the four features are, first of all, computer to computer, and second one, business documents, and the third one, standard format, and the last one, business partner. So this is very important. All students must study. It is a repeating question. What is the importance of EDI? I already discussed what is the importance. We can reduce the paperwork and we can reduce the errors, we can reduce the cost, we can increase the processing speed, we can easily make a business transaction. So these are the main importance or the impacts of EDI. We can avoid human beings and avoid the malpractice or errors made by the human beings. So this is the impact or the importance or the benefits of EDI. All are same, but in the for study we give here the heading, under the heading importance of EDI. The first and foremost impact of EDI has been paperless business communication. Other business benefits of EDI include, what are the other benefits? Eliminating human error, zero manual entry errors, real-time purchase order and invoice generation. It is speedy processing, increasing the processing speed. And the last one, EDI adoption comes with its unique set of challenges. We can update the versions, update the technology. So we will go through the globalization of the techniques. The primary among these is updating existing business process for electronic document exchange. This involves the automation of existing business workflows and process to a certain degree. The level of exchanging or updating, it is very high. Always all business technologies is updated by the business people for developing the speed and avoiding the mistakes for the e-commerce. Most business vote against EDI in light of the upfront cost. In the previous stage, many of vote against the EDI, but nowadays EDI promises a good return of investment once the business process and workflows are aligned with the EDI standard. So this is the importance of EDI. Then, what are the working of EDI? What are the procedure involved in the EDI? I already discussed, but here the step-by-step process. First of all, we collect and create a data file. When you doing a project work, what is the first step in the project work? You must collect the informations or the data related to the factors of the research study. That is the first step. What is doing, which research work is to be done by a person. Related the factors is to be identified and you must collect the data related to the factors. It will be collected by direct interview, or by giving a leaflet, or by giving a census, or by giving a questionnaire. Likewise, first of all, you collect the data. Then you make it a systematic order or in a table to compare the data. That is the first step in the same in the case of EDI. First of all, you must collect and create a data file. First, you collect the data and make it in a systematic order, systematic basis. Like an example, your result. What is to be done in your university exam result paper? First of all, the code, then the subject name, then your mark, internal and external, and the total mark and the grade, likewise. So this is a systematic format. That is the file. Okay, so first of all, you collect the data and create the data file. That is in an organized data. Create a file of this organized data, that is in a systematic way. Okay, then what is the second step? The collected data or the created data file is to be translated to the EDI, because the machines are involved in the processing. So they machines, I mean the computers. These computers know the data created in the file. It is to be read and understand by the computers. For this purpose, it can be translated to the computer language. For this purpose, translate the collected and organized electronic data file into standard format, EDI standard format. That is the main purpose of the standard format. Using appropriate segments and the elements. What are the segments, or what is the important part? Segment, data element, and the envelopes. This is used by the EDI standard format and translate the the data created by the user into computer language. After translation, next third step is to be started. What is done? The computer A send the created or translated document to the receiver's computer. That is transfer EDI document. The EDI document is translated. After that, it will be sent to the receiver's computer. You can share the documents with your vendor or client or any user once your data file is converted into EDI format by using the standard format. This transmission can directly be done using the internet or some providers services, or any internet service, or in any internet Google or any like format or provider service can be used to send your translated document to the computer of B or the receiver's computer. Okay, what is the fourth step? The last step is the receiving end. The first of all, computer A collect data and create a data file, and it is translated. After the translation, it is to be transferred to receiver's computer. So the document is in the receiver's computer. What is done by the receiving computer? They collect the data and translate and give a reply or transfer it to the sender's computer. That is the receiving end. Receiving end, again the process translate the EDI document and transfer the EDI document. Okay, once the EDI's formatted document is received at the receiver's end, it is again converted back to the data filing using EDI format. That is transfer EDI document which is received by the receiver computer. They have, or it is equivalent to the create data file. That is collection of data. Second step, it is to be done by the receiver computer also, translate it into EDI document. After that, they can read and understand. After that, it will be transferred to the sender's document. Okay, so converted back to a data file using EDI standard format, appropriate segment and data element and envelopes. This process is done using the EDI translator or services. So this is the procedure or working of EDI. First of all, collect, then create, translate, transfer. Again, these three steps are done at the receiving end also. Collect the information received from the sender computer and translate and transfer and give a reply to the sender computer. Okay, so that is computer A collect data, create a data file, translate and transfer the information to the computer B. Computer B collect the data and create a data file and translate and reply give to the computer A. So this is the procedure of EDI. And what are the benefits of EDA? Already explained, but in the point wise. Either you can the importance or impact or benefits. The answer is same. You can write in the earlier answer or this answer. This is an good because there is a point wise discussion. So it is easy to study and easy to write, and you can score good marks by using this point wise explanation. Okay, what is the benefits of EDI? That is expedite transmission, easy transmission of the communication or the information to from one computer to another computer. That is, information is transmitted from one organization to another organization efficiently and safely. That is the first benefit. And the second one, it is a mechanical data entry, not the human beings involved in the data. So automated data entry, data is entered automatically by EDI software. For instance, when purchase order from one company is received by another company, likewise sales order is automatically generated at other company's system with the help of EDI software. So second benefit is automated data entry will reduce the errors. The third one, receipt verification. Receipt verification can easily be done with the help of EDA software or mechanical software. So the processing is very speedy, very effective, and can avoid the errors. No human intervention is involved, so there are minimal chances of error or delay. And the fourth one, data validation. Data validation is automatically done. It is done by the machine. Next one, free software. Free softwares are available depending upon the EDI format chosen. For example, in Tradacom's EDI format, price information file and order files are available for free. Net gives a free support to get an availability of different types of apps or softwares, etc. Then the cost is very low, lower administrative resource and maintenance cost, faster processing, speedy processing, increasing processing, building long-term relationship, effective, strong, and good relationship with the business partners, and reduction in error. The human beings are neglected or avoided. At that time, the paperwork is very less, so there is a minimal chance of errors, and the storing facilities they also reduce. The cost is reduced. We cannot store or keep the paperwork without the attack of the insects. These type of supporting works is to be avoided because all the data is stored in a mechanical way, so we can reduce the error. Then what are the drawbacks of EDA? We already discussed many benefits of EDA. Likewise, there are some drawbacks. What are the drawbacks? It is very expensive. Setup and maintenance of all the formats of EDA is expensive than a maintenance of a human being. Comparing to the human beings, it is expensive to maintain and set up a mechanical device. And the second one, initial setup is time consuming. First preliminary stage is very lagging. After getting that, after you come into the track, it will be go fast. Okay, so initial setup is time consuming, so you must overcome the preliminary drawbacks, and After that you can flow easily. Okay, so that is the second drawback. Third one, EDI standard changes. Already I discussed there is an updation or versions to be implemented at the time of fixing the standard format. So it is very confusing to some people, the mind changing, because the business partners or the users are the human beings. So these the standard changes can't be cop up with the cop up by the business partners. The business process depends on EDI standard format. If any of the standard format changes, then the business process has to be changed accordingly. I think you face this problem. Offline classes suddenly changed into online classes. It will give many problems to tolerate with these. That type of problems already existing. Anyway, we change the which is the already adopted. When it is changing, we can have some physical or mental uh, troubles or problems. So we must overcome these problems. That is a main drawback. Okay. Then the fourth one, system electronic protection. An EDI enabled system needs electronic protection from virus, hacking, malware, and other frauds. Then staff training cost. You must give a training and exactly efficient or good training to the employees who are involved in this procedure. If they are not trained or not skilled or talented trainers in the or employees involved in the EDI, it will lead to many errors and mistakes. So staff needs training in order to run EDI enabled software. Investment has to be done in training. The cost of training programs, it is to be implemented. Okay. That is a drawback. Then proper backup. Always mechanical devices is using for the information and it is stored in the machines. So you must make proper backups or servers should keep maintained as the all data depends on EDI. In case of any crash of EDI system, proper backup has to be made and extra cost is required for it for the maintaining the server or making the backups, etc. Next one, limit your trading partners. Some organizations stops doing business which don't use EDI. For instance, Walmart prefers to do business only with those organizations which uses EDI. Walmart, US based a big business competing organization. It will make many type of e-commerce based transactions. They does not encourage the persons which does not use these types of EDI. Some organization stops doing business which don't use EDI. If any of business organization does not depending or does not using these EDI system, they can't make any business transaction with that particular organizations. So limit your trading partners. If any partner is updating with the technology and updating with the standard formats, if they does not know about these things, we can the some large business organization avoiding these type of peoples from the EDI. So these are the main drawbacks of EDI.